And that was the excuse everyone used back then. Like Daredevil's just a street thug, right? Like he's just a dude that he's blind or whatever. He doesn't have superpowers. He just fights people bare knuckles in the street. Like, what's he going to do in Infinity War? Well, what the fuck is the Thunderbolts going to do against Doctor Doom?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. But they're in it.
I love picturing the climax of Infinity War. Everyone's just fucking right. Like everyone's just kicking ass, and Daredevil is just getting the shit kicked out of him because they're all around. Or maybe he does like a windmill thing where like he's just like spinning around that way, but he's just like he's getting his ass kicked. Because he can't fucking, I don't know if you know that, he can't see anything.
He can't see anything. Or he's just walking through the battlefield like Travolta in Pulp Fiction. He's just like, what the fuck?
He's on another continent.
He doesn't even know. Like, yeah. Doctor Strange fucking sparkle circled his ass there, and he's like, where the hell am I? Oh, welcome to bingemedia.net. This is Just Tell Me What Happens. Now, this is a show where Alyx, who is my co-host, that's Alyx.
What up?
He doesn't want to see a movie. He doesn't have time to see a movie. He forgot to see a movie. Whatever other excuse he has given. He has not seen the movie that we're going to talk about, and he doesn't want to waste his time. He just wants to know what happens. That's what I come in. I tell him what happens. Right?
100%. Right. That's it in a nutshell. For any myriad of reasons, it could be an actor, it could be a director, but like, there just needs to be 1% of me that is interested in the movie to just tell me what that 1%. If it's like 50%, I'm probably just going to watch the movie. Right?
You're going to watch the movie.
Yeah, but if it's like 1 to maybe let's say 10%, I just need you to tell me what happens to get me up to that 50% level so I can watch it.
Does it work both ways? So you're saying maybe an actor sparks enough interest for you to want to know what happens? Does it work the other way? Is there just maybe one actor in a movie that was like, I'm not seeing it because that fucking actor's in it?
I feel like we all have those, right? Like there's definitely who, let's see. Yeah, I can't think of any off the top of my head right now. It'll definitely come to me, but yeah, there's definitely actors, directors, writers that we're just not gonna fuck with, right? Uwe Boll. Do I want to watch an Uwe Boll movie? I don't know if anybody does. Does anybody even remember Uwe Boll at this point?
It's sad that that's a really old reference.
It is. We were in the thick of it, dog. We were in the thick of it. He was the schlock master. He was just purposely offensive, like a 14-year-old.
He was like a really angry, mean Breen, right? Like he was mean Breen.
Yeah, he was mean Breen. Yeah. Absolutely. Didn't he have a thing? I think it was a crowd fundraising for one of his movies, like a Kickstarter or something like that. And one of the top goals was if you donated, let's say a couple grand, then you get to box him in the ring or something like that.
Something happened with a boxing.
Do you remember that? Or maybe you know what I think it was? I think it was one of those crazy festivals in Austin where he fought critics in the ring. I think that's what it was.
I think that's what it was too, yeah. And I think the critics were just like little dudes and they got their asses kicked. I think he was like a professional boxer.
I think he had done some training. He's just let's get in the ring and sort it out.
That's fucking hilarious.
It's so crazy. So crazy. Yeah, but just tell me what happens. I fucking love this show because it's just the Cliff Notes version.
That's right.
You're just gonna give me the down and dirty of everything. And we decide at the end of the show whether or not I'm gonna watch it. And Pete is usually the person that's gonna be doing that. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We're doing these every couple of weeks, and then also uploading some back catalog. We're gonna start doing that too. So
right. And speaking of Pete, he's not here to fact check us live. So if we if we screw up, it's on the internet forever. And but he's gonna pop in and tell Alyx whether he's gonna go see this movie just for that last push, one way or the other.
Yes.
If Alyx needs that last push, we'll see.
Yes.
What does this fall under? Now we're doing Thunderbolts. I'm sure everyone's read it by now. What is the reason you weren't rushing out to the theater to see this?
Well, very much like, so our first Just Tell Me What Happens was Captain America: Brave New World.
Yep.
Or is it New Brave World? Whatever it is, Brave New World, maybe.
Brave New World. Yep.
So that was one where, again, like, I really enjoy the Captain America character, but it knowing the end and knowing how that movie ends really has no bearing on whether or not I'm going to see it, or I'm not really looking for. I need to get in there Friday night. Those aren't really my kind of movies anymore.
Right, right.
Not that they ever really were, but I think for Thunderbolts, there's a lot of newer. They're all new characters to
Yeah.
me, right? This is a new, the new phase, and I've kind of liked all these characters in their own respective films or TV shows, but it's still just not enough for me. I can't get up enough for it. I need my good friend Jim Law to help me get up for stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right. Well, it's funny you say that because
I need your help to get me rigid.
No.
No.
You're saying it wrong.
Oh.
The hype for me for this was non-existent for 98% of the time that I knew about it until the very end. I started hearing good things. This is actually the last film of a phase 5.
Yeah.
But it promises to kind of kick off the next phase, right? Like it's leading us into the next phase of Marvel's back. And I've been, that for a couple years now. I hope Captain America was going to be it. I wanted the last Spider-Man movie to be it. Other than Guardians 3, I haven't really felt great about a Marvel movie coming out.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't.
Huh.
I mean, Spider-Man 3 was Spider-Man 3 was okay, but it was just too much nostalgia, bullshit.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that kind of is starting to drive me a little nuts is the nostalgia aspect of it. We're nostalgia for stuff that came out 20 years ago. It's kind of
right.
It's strange to me.
All right. Well, before I dive into the facts.
Yeah.
Do you have any house cleaning you want to do? And I have a question for you.
Yeah, I want to tell people, go to patreon.com/binge media, $5 a month. You're going to be able to get this Just Tell Me What Happens early. Then we release it on YouTube every other Monday. We are also doing commentaries. We just finished Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and what a time that was.
So much fun.
So we've got the trilogy down. Now, we were debating whether or not we're going to do Kingdom of the Crystal Skull and Dial of Destiny. So that's still up in the air. You're still not all that excited about it.
They could be real fun for commentaries. I just don't want to watch them again.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. So check out patreon.com/binge media if you want to support Binge Media, $5, and then you get all of our back catalog going back to 2016. And we are having once a month, we have our patrons vote on a commentary, and that poll will be up in the next couple of days. So as you're listening to this, it's probably already done. Who knows?
Yeah. I have 2 questions for you now. You brought something up. Have we ever? TJ asked me. We were sitting on the couch talking about Thunderbolts, and he asked me, "Have we ever done a tournament for trilogies?" And I thought we did.
Yeah.
Like just the first 3 movies of a franchise. I think we did that.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I'm pretty sure we've done that.
No idea who won, but yeah, we covered it. Jack Black tournament is out, by the way, too. If you want to.
Yes. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. You can get that on YouTube right now.
All right. So before I start diving into all the facts of this movie and explaining exactly what happens, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Who do you think dies in this movie?
Right.
Well, I'm going to give you the cast. You don't have to go.
Okay.
So you got Yelena from Black Widow.
Sure.
You got Bucky from Winter Soldier and many others.
Love Bucky.
You got John Walker, U.S. agent from Falcon and Winter Soldier, the fake Captain America.
He was good. Yeah, I liked him.
You got Ghost, who was the bad guy for most of Ant-Man and the Wasp. I think she ended up being kind of like a good guy near the end of that film. I don't remember. Taskmaster, also from Black Widow. She was again the bad guy, but misunderstood in her way. Anyways, turned out like she wasn't the true bad guy of Black Widow. And Red Guardian, also from Black Widow. This is a sequel to Black Widow. If anything. You know what I mean?
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, it's got the most characters from Black Widow. Anyway.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then you got Julia Louis-Dreyfus as Valentina, who has appeared in, she was in Falcon and Winter Soldier. She's shown up here and there in some after credit scenes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those are the main players of this movie. Now, if you're a betting man, who's the odds favorite to die in this film?
Well, I don't think it's Valentina. She's too good of a character. Like, I just feel like she would survive like an atom bomb. You know what I mean? Like a nuclear bomb. Like she's just a survivor. She's able to be a little weasel that way.
Yeah.
There's too much writing on Bucky and Yelena, I feel like, to kill them off.
That's right.
I would say, let's see. Oh, Bunk from The Wire is in this.
Yeah.
And Chris Bauer from The Wire.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, that's second season. He's the white guy from the white guy season of The Wire.
The white guy season.
Frank Sabaka, yeah. He's in the white guy season of The Wire. Great cast and everything. But my pick is going to be, I just had it. Where's it? Oh, John Walker. I think it's John Walker. I think he can be very, very expendable.
All right.
For this next phase, or for the ending of this phase going into the next phase. They might not need him for the next phase. So that's my guess.
All right. Let's get it. We'll see. We're gonna figure out. We're gonna this. You're gonna get a solid answer to your question. All right.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I love it. And now, okay, follow up to that.
Yeah.
Am I gonna get the answer? I'm definitely getting the answer to my question, right? Is it gonna be before the credits, or is it gonna be an after the credits thing?
Do you want that answer right now?
No, I don't. Okay. I just want you to know I'm thinking about that.
All right. Thunderbolts. It just came out May 2nd, 2025. It is the 36th MCU movie. Like that is, every time I read this number, it blows my mind. 36 MCU movies. It is the final film of Phase 5. It is 2 hours and 6 minutes long. All right. That's a long movie. The budget was $180 million. Opening weekend, that's all the numbers we have at this moment. It made $76 million approximately opening weekend, which is pretty good, I guess.
They've been promoting the shit out of this too.
Yeah, absolutely. IMDb has a 7.7, and Rotten Tomatoes has a critic score of 88% and an audience score, as of when I took this information down, it might have changed by now, of 94% positive. Fresh. So I gave you all the main players, and I guess it's time to get into it. Let's roll the...
Hey guys, it's your pal Alyx, and I want to tell you about our friends over at ParkSense.com. Go there and use the code BINGE20 at checkout for 20% off your entire order. If you like the Disney or Universal parks and want to bring some of the sensory magic back home, go to ParkSense.com and pick out your favorite candle, room spray, or wax melt. The best thing about ParkSense.com is the variety of scents that bring you right back to the park. The extraterrestrial adventure candle will remind you of Universal's E.T. ride, and the Wizard Beer's butterscotch scent will transport you to the Hogwarts Express right from your living room. So go to ParkSense.com, stock up on some fantastic smells, and use the code BINGE20 at checkout for 20% off your order. Thank you to ParkSense.com, and now back to the show.
All right. This movie starts off with Yelena is very sad. She doesn't know what her purpose is in life. She's getting.
I'm sorry. I just would really love the official synopsis to be
Yelena. Sad?
She's very sad.
She's so sad.
She's so sad in this lead up to the end of the Phase 5.
She's got no direction in life. She's she's a very talented murderer, and she's been pulling off these jobs for Valentina. She gives her a call. She says, "You got this job. I need you to take out this person, blah, 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 whatever." But she doesn't want to do it anymore. She's done with living in the shadows, being kind of the anti-hero. She goes and visits her dad, who is Red Guardian from Black Widow. And, he is very jealous of her. She's kind of getting to do all these missions, and he's sitting in his dirty apartment with nothing to do. and he wants to kind of get some jobs from Valentina. He wants to switch spots with her almost. After that conversation, Yelena kind of is like, all right, you know what? I want to I want to be more in the spotlight. Like she wants to be a hero, basically. She wants to change her ways. She wants to stop doing all the dark shit, and she wants to lead the life maybe of a superhero, right?
Okay.
She's too sad. She's just too sad.
She's just too sad. So
Valentina,
she's going from hired gun. She wants more of the freedom of a superhero. Yeah.
Right. She wants to be in the public eye. She wants people to know who she is and what she can do.
Okay.
So she calls Valentina and she tells her this. After this, the film opens up with kind of her last job, right? And it doesn't go very well. She has to end up blowing up this lab in Bulgaria or some shit. I don't know. Don't ask me where any of these places are. Valentina says, "Okay, all right, that's fine. Yeah, we'll get you in the spotlight, but I literally have one more job for you to do." See, Valentina's problem is in this movie, she's going to get impeached. They're having trials to impeach her because of all the shady shit she's been doing with these people. So Valentina needs to get rid of all the evidence of everything bad that she's ever done. So she sends Yelena to this mountaintop kind of safe house. So it's at the top of a mountain, but it goes like a mile down, right? And the mile down is where they keep all the evidence, all the shit that they've collected over the years of doing all these black ops jobs. She's like, I need you to go there. This person's going to be there, and this person just happens to be Ghost, one of the other people, right, from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yep.
Ghost going to be there. You need to kill her. Well, I don't know if they know it's a girl. So Yelena watches her go in. She goes down. She's watching Ghost, what she's doing, and a fight ensues. But then Walker shows up, and then Taskmaster shows up, and then is that it? No, that's it. So this is what we have in this room, right? They have this big battle, and everyone's trying to kill everybody else. And in the midst of this fight, we get our one death, Alyx and Sierra.
Okay.
Because Yelena was there to kill Ghost. Ghost was there to kill Taskmaster. Walker was there to kill Yelena. And Taskmaster was there to kill Walker. So they're all there sent by Valentina to kill each other. Because, Alyx, they are the evidence that needs to be taken out.
Yeah.
Valentina needs to get rid of everything in this room. That was true, in this vault or whatever. But all of these people that have been working these black ops jobs for them over the years need to disappear. So they're all there to kill each other. And in the midst of this battle, Taskmaster takes a bullet right to the fucking face.
Oh, really? Okay.
About 5 minutes screen time for Taskmaster in this movie. She's
just wiped her right off the board.
Fucking completely out. Ghost actually puts a bullet right in her fucking forehead.
Okay.
All right. In the midst of all this, they end up hit the big giant, like superhero briefcases, right? Like the big fucking digital code things, like almost like luggage looking shit. They hit one and it opens up, and inside is a man. He's been in this box sleeping or whatever. He's stuck in this thing. He crawls out in the midst of the fight, which actually ends up having them all stop fighting him and wonder who this guy is. And now this guy is Bob.
Classic Bob.
He comes out, he says Bob. Now this guy he's played by the dude that played Bob in Top Gun Maverick. He also played Bob. And his name, they made a big deal of his name also in that movie because he didn't have a call sign. Did you see Maverick?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
He was like, oh, what's your call sign, Bob? He's like, Bob. Like he didn't have a call sign.
Yeah.
That's him. That's this guy.
Okay.
He's just fucking Bob for life, this dude.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't know where he is. He's just woke up. They have no idea how he got in there. They have no idea why he's there. Yelena starts putting shit together. She says, you know what? We're the evidence. We're here to die. Valentina's trying to get rid of all of us. So they start working together. This is after Taskmaster's dead, by the way. Poor Taskmaster. So they find a way to get out of here, right? There's explosions in that. They find a way to get out. They have to crawl up this elevator shaft all back to back to back with their feet on the wall and all this. They get to the very top. By this time, Valentina's been, her assistant's been watching the video camera. She knows what's going on in the vault. So she knows that they're got out. She sends a whole military troop there to take them out. another big gun battle ensues, but Bob saves everybody by taking a whole bunch of bullets to the chest and dies. While all the other, like Yelena, Ghost, and Walker get out of there. But then Bob stands back up. He's not dead, and he fucking flies up into the air, and fucking nobody knows what's going on with Bob, right? Like Bob's this fucking super being that nobody has any idea what's going on with.
Is he a celestial?
Oh, look at you. Look at you. Bob, he falls back down to earth. He's unconscious. Valentina scoops him up. Valentina didn't even fucking know he was in there, by the way. Valentina scoops him up, and they bring him to her office, which is actually the new Tony Stark's old apartment.
Yeah,
the Avengers Tower.
Mm-hmm.
She's bought that now. She's moved into there. All right. So while that's going on, Yelena and Ghost and Walker, they kind of get rescued by Red Guardian, her dad.
Yep.
He sees all this shit happening on the news. He figures Yelena needs me, so he drives out there in his old beat up car. Right? He's fucking hilarious in this movie.
He might have been the best part of Black Widow.
Black Widow, yeah. And he's always amped up. They never actually call themselves Thunderbolts in this film. It's just him, and it's named after her, Yelena, and I think Natasha might have played on it too, but her old soccer team from when she was a kid, they were the Thunderbolts. And he keeps referencing that to call them the Thunderbolts in this movie, but they're never actually called the Thunderbolts.
That's great.
It's a pretty funny running joke. Yeah. So he shows up and he's gonna fucking, save him, whatever. And Valentina's got Bob locked up in the Avengers Tower. Okay. Now, while they're driving, they start getting chased again by a couple vehicles, Valentina's people, and they're getting, they're about to get their ass kicked and all that, and all of a sudden, fucking Bucky shows up on a motorcycle, looking cool as fuck. Like,
he just passed here in our little slideshow.
Yeah, I mean, you can't look much cooler than Bucky.
Is that Bob right there?
That's Bob.
Okay, fuck yeah, that looks like a Bob.
So Winter Soldier shows up, he takes out the vehicles that are chasing him, but then he fucks them up and captures them.
Mm-hmm.
Bucky is a congressman at this point in the movie, right? He was at the beginning of the movie when Valentina was having her trial. He was present. He's a congressman. Remember, I told you he was running for Congress in Captain America.
Yeah.
So now he's a congressman, full blown.
Okay.
So he has very, very deep interest in getting Valentina to be impeached. He wants her out because he knows what she's doing and it's all that shit.
Yep.
So he's captured. Now he has Yelena and Red Guardian and Ghost and Walker. He has them all tied up in this little fucking warehouse or whatever, and he's going to use them as evidence in the next hearing against Valentina.
Okay.
All right. So Valentina is now working to get Bob to remember who he is and what he's all about. So apparently they did some sort of it's not a super soldier serum, but some sort of super serum.
When you say they, the government?
Yeah, like her dark ops government.
Yeah, the dark ops kind of stuff. Yeah, gotcha.
But as far as Valentina knew, everyone that volunteered for this died, and they didn't because whatever they were injected with, killed them instantly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's maybe why Bob was in kind of like a coffin-like state in this evidence room, because they thought he was dead. Mm-hmm. But his body adjusted, and he took on whatever superpowers were thrust into him with this serum.
Mm-hmm.
So they finally Winter Soldier. So Bucky has all these guys wrapped up, and he's like, okay, well, you guys you're going to be this, you're going to be that. They're telling him a story about trying to save Bob and what Bob was, and they had, they're trying to tell him the story about how it's all Valentina. She tried to have us killed. We're not, don't use this as evidence. Use this as help. We want to help you. Bucky says, okay, let's do it. So they go to Avengers Tower, and they're going to have this big, they're all going to go up to the top. Do you see him? This is all.
It's all
trailer.
Right
yeah. You see they go up in Avengers Tower and they confront Valentina, and she's kind of like, she's a very, very confident woman. She's very, very fucking smarmy and very snarky with them. And right as they're about to fucking take her in, she unleashes Bob, who is now known as Sentry. It was the Sentry project that they were doing. So he is Sentry.
Okay.
That is his superhero or / villain name. Sentry absolutely destroys everybody in the room without a problem whatsoever. He takes out, he bends Captain or U.S. Agent's shield in half. He takes out fucking Red Guardian. He destroys Yelena. You know, for a superhero group, there's not a lot of superhero powers in this group, and they even make light of it in the movie. Right? All they do is punch and shoot. They even say it in the film. None of us have superpowers. We just fight and we shoot people.
Right. Yeah, more of the Black Widow, Hawkeye. They just have like exceptional skills.
That's right.
Nothing superhero-ish, but and their Sentry, right? We're just
their Sentry. Yeah,
gotcha.
All right, so Bob takes care of all them. Valentina's like, all right, now you you listen to me and we'll go places. Da 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 da. But Sentry's
hold on, wait 1 second. I might have missed. How is Valentina like controlling Sentry? Or
only
Bob?
Well,
or does he make that decision?
Yeah, it's basically would be up to him, right? Like she thinks she owns them just because of the Sentry project was her project. She owns whatever serum's inside him and all that. And Sentry's kind of like, it's funny you asked the question right now, because when she tells him we're going to do big things together, you and me, and Sentry says, why would I listen to you? Like immediately, like he was just like, why do I have to listen to you? Right. But what he doesn't know is she has a kill switch for Sentry. Her assistant,
what a fucking twat.
Her assistant, who I've kind of skipped over a little bit in this movie, but she's a little bit important because she is kind of Bucky's informant.
Okay.
I think she got a little crush on Buck.
Ooh.
You know, we all do.
Who doesn't, right? Yeah, absolutely.
So she's the one that's been kind of giving him the this inside information or whatever. She ends up saving Valentina as Sentry has her by the throat and he's about to kill her. She hits the kill switch. Sentry goes black. He's done. He's dead.
He's done, huh?
Yeah. Wow. So the Thunderbolts have now went back down the elevator. They're out on the street arguing because they fucking got their ass kicked and they're just like a mess, right? Everyone's going this parting ways, and they're just done. They're like, we just tried. We got our ass kicked. There's nothing left for us to do. Sentry then. So Bob is a very interesting character because he's not mentally stable. He has a lot of issues from his youth that have come up, right? A lot of his power earlier in the film, whenever someone would touch him skin to skin, they would remember their darkest memories. They would be brought back into like very, very dark moments in their life, right? And it's very, very awful. This is directed by the guy that directed Beef. I don't know. Did you watch that TV show?
I've watched a couple of episodes. I haven't seen the whole thing.
Yeah, a very human emotion driven show, right? Yep. Like, and that's where Bob comes in this movie. He's a very, very complicated character. When they hit that kill switch, he kind of let go of everything and let the dark side take him over. So what happens is he literally turns into a black slate. His body's still there. You can barely see his eyes, but he's completely black. You can't even make out any features on his face or anything. Just a cape floating in the air. He's now, it's not, I don't think it's really been referenced in the movie. Maybe he says it once or twice, but he's called the Void in the comics.
Okay.
It's like the dark side to Sentry. You got Sentry, who is the superhero, and you got the Void, who is the supervillain.
Can you go over it? How did he get to the Void? How did he
so Valentina's assistant hit the kill switch, and they thought they killed him, but the Void took over his body at that point.
So something that they didn't even foresee.
They did not know this was part of whatever he was. Yeah. He's such a damaged dude, right? There's just a whole other side to him. Emotionally, I guess they didn't take into factor. Yeah. So now he's up top, floating above the city, and he is taking out people left and right. He's a little flick of the finger, and he turns people into just black shadows on the floor. Like they're just literally gone into the void, I guess. The whole city is turning black, slowly but surely. You can see New York City being covered by the black void.
Mm-hmm.
People are disappearing left, right. There's a fucking amazing scene, Alex, where the Thunderbolts have to come back together. So they've all separated, right? Because they're fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Shit starts falling from the top because he voids out a guy driving a helicopter. A helicopter hits into this building. All this fucking shit. This building falls into this building, and all the shit's falling on the ground. Thunderbolts have to save all the people on the ground. You know, prove that they're superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
Not prove, but it does. It proves that they're superheroes.
Sure.
They're blocking giant boulders that are falling down. They're Winter Soldiers fucking hitting cars over people. They all come together to save this one piece of concrete that was going to crush a whole bunch of people. They all come together and they're all holding it and they all push it back. And they all everyone starts clapping. Everyone, they're in the spotlight. This is what Yelena wanted. She wanted to be known for what she can do. They've saved a lot of the citizens of New York. Right after that happens, there's this little girl standing in the street and there's giant boulders about to fall on her. And Red Guardian runs over there and grabs her, and the boulder just hits Red Guardian in the back and explodes. And he stands up and he looks at her, and the little girl looks at him, and fucking Void abolishes her. Like she fucking it was like the only audible moment in the theater when that happened too. It was like gasps and like, oh my god. It was so dark.
Now that moment is a great theater moment. Right? When's the last time you had something like that where like the entire I mean, it sounds like the entire audience was like just hanging on, just waiting for the next scene, waiting for the next second, and then boom.
And it's totally original too, right? Like you can get those moments in these movies, but they're usually because, oh, there's Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. Like that moment. But this one was just completely fucking out of nowhere. It was great. So Yelena is like, I kind of know what this is all about. The Void's taking over New York, right? It's getting closer to them now on the street. You can literally see it coming closer. Mm-hmm. And Yelena's like, I think I know what this is. And when Yelena touched him earlier, she had a really dark moment where when she was in the Black Widow program as a young child, she had set up one of her friends to get murdered. Mm-hmm. And she said, I think I know what the Void is, and I think I can get to Bob through it. She just walks into the Void. Another gasp in the audience. This one from my daughter, because she thought Yelena just died.
Yeah.
And everyone else was like, what the fuck? Where did she go? So she's right. She goes in. It's basically in Bob's head, right? She finds Bob in this room in this house. Now, I don't know. I don't know the logistics of the Void. I don't know how she gets to where she's going. She lives through some of her bad moments again.
Okay.
But she breaks through some sort of wall or whatever and finds Bob sitting in this room by himself. Now it's just Bob. He's not Sentry. He's not the Void. And she starts talking to him about what his childhood was like. And you can hear his parents, his dad's beating his mom up in the room below them. And all this bad shit's happening around him. He's like, this is the only room where I can feel safe in here because the Void's kind of taken over everything else.
Yeah, gotcha.
So Yelena and him are talking, and then all the rest of the Thunderbolts followed her in, and they all end up in this room. And they start fighting their way out with all these bad memories that they have. They're literally fighting off their own bad
memories.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So it's almost like a remember Legion, the TV show Legion.
Yeah, I never finished that, but yeah.
But they spent a lot of time in the like astral world, right? That kind of sounds like where like the Void is. If she's able to meet him in this weird astral plane, then they're able to communicate and figure things out.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Gotcha.
So they all come together to help Bob beat the Void, like overcome what the Void is, or just basically not have the Void take him over anymore, right? Mm-hmm. And once they do that, once Bob defeats him within himself, the light, everything comes back. All the color comes back to the city. All the people that were fucking abolished come back. We see the little girl again. We actually see the little girl. Yeah, so it wasn't as dark as we thought. But
everybody comes back but her. It's like the entire city's just mourning this one little girl.
She comes back, but at the exact same moment, and that boulder fucking hammers her.
She just goes, ah, and it just flattens her.
All right, so Valentina is on the street when all this is happening too, right? Like she just got saved by her assistant. The void almost killed her. She's running around. All the Thunderbolts finally walk out of the void, and they're like, "All right, we did it. We saved you, Bob. You're okay." And they see Valentina, and Valentina's up against this wall, and they kind of got her cornered, and they're like, you're going to prison, you're going to jail for all what you've done here and all this. And she's like, all right, hold on. And she goes through this tarp that's on the wall, and they all follow her out there. And Valentina's got a press conference set up on the other side of the wall. She's been working this behind the scenes this whole time. And they all walk out, and there's 50 to 100 reporters sitting there with microphones and all that, and they're kind of like, what the hell? And she introduces them as the new Avengers. This is the new Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie title at the end, I don't know if you've seen any of this stuff that's going on today.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, coming through.
They take out Thunderbolts. They put in new Avengers. The promotions going on the internet today is the cast is walking around the city replacing Thunderbolts posters with posters that say new Avengers on them.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it's a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. That's the end of the movie. They are now the new Avengers. They don't seem happy about it, but all right.
So, because it was forced on them, right? Like they didn't expect that.
No, they wanted.
What was Yelena's whole expression? I mean, this is what she wanted, right?
That's the thing. It is exactly what she wanted, but she does walk up to Valentina off mic and say, "We own you now," and then the movie kind of ends. Okay, so
Yelena says that we own you
to Valentina.
Valentina.
Yeah.
We own you. What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm like, because they have so much shit on her, I guess. Maybe they're going to see how this new Avengers things go, and if it doesn't go the way they want it to, she's going to turn her in. I don't know. We'll have to see. 2 credit scenes. Mid-credit scene is just Red Guardian in a grocery store. All the new Avengers are on a Wheaties box, and he's trying to help this woman shopping, and he's trying to get her to notice that he's on the box. It's very, very Red Guardian.
Yeah.
Very funny, very short. But then the second one, we see them in Avengers Tower now, new Avengers Tower, having a conversation. This is supposedly the longest credit scene they've ever had. You got Yelena, Ghost, Walker, Red Guardian, and Bob, who's just Bob. He's not one of the new Avengers because he can't be Sentry without being the Void. So he's not going to be Sentry anymore.
Interesting.
So Bob's just sitting over in the corner, and he's just like, "Hey, Bob," whatever.
Yeah.
Red Guardian walks in, and so the bit of this is that Sam, or is it Sam? Sam Wilson? New Cap? Sam Wilson, right?
I don't know.
Yeah. New Cap is suing them for the Avengers name because he's put together.
New Cap. Sorry. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, New Cap.
Brain fart. Nope.
He's put together a team that he considers the Avengers. So he is actually suing them for the name rights. And they're having this conversation. It's pretty funny. So Red Guardian shows up in the new uniform. It's all spot. It looks like a fucking NASCAR uniform. Like it's all, long sleeves, really colorful. And it says Avengers with a Z. And he thinks that he's solved all their problems. It's fucking really funny, actually. While they're having this conversation, nothing, none of them seem happy. None of them seem very heroic at all. You know what I mean? They're just kind of bickering still in the office towers. While this is happening, there's a beat. There's some sort of unidentified flying saucer that has come into the atmosphere. So they say, all right, well, let's see what that is while they're bickering. And they put it up on the big screen. And I'm sure you've noticed the picture in the gallery. It is this long kind of penis-looking ship. And they zoom in on it, and it kind of gives a little twirl, and you see the Fantastic Four symbol on it.
Dude, I put the montage together. You're speaking, you're breaking down the synopsis, great job, and I'm seeing the 4 shows up.
Yeah,
every now and then.
Yeah,
I'm such a fucking. I didn't get it until maybe about 5 minutes ago. That would be Fantastic Four. And I'm like, well, let me write this down. What does the 4 mean? I'm writing my questions down for you after we get through the synopsis.
And that's it. And that was the final of the thing. So what I think we were talking about it after me and the kids. By the way, TJ wanted me to tell you this is the best Marvel movie since Guardians 3. That's his hands down.
Okay.
I think I might agree with it. I'm not quite sure. I don't want to sway you one way or the other. I want you to just kind of want to see this or not. The Fantastic Four thing, we kind of think the end of this movie is literally going to be the end of the Fantastic Four movie also. Big theory that we have is that the Fantastic Four's universe, which is going to be a different universe, is not the 616 is the universe that the MCU is in.
Okay.
So we think that the Fantastic Four is taking place in a different universe, and that universe is going to be destroyed, and the Fantastic Four is going to flee and come to the 616, which is, I think, the end of their movie, or maybe very close to the end of their movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be that scene of them coming.
I can see how that lines up. Yeah. That could be cool.
Yeah. So
that could be cool. So, Guardians 3 came out May 5th, 2023. We're recording on May 5th. And then it was the Marvels, Deadpool and Wolverine, Captain America: Brave New World, and then Thunderbolts. So those are the three that are in between. And T is saying that best one since Guardians.
Yeah, I mean, I think he might have forgot about Deadpool. It's hard to consider Deadpool an MCU movie at this point, but it is. So I don't know. Maybe I'll get back to him on that. It's not as its own. It's a great movie. It just I don't know where to put it as an MCU movie. You know what I mean? Like pushing the timeline forward. I don't know.
Pushing the timeline forward and being within the same universe. Typically, when they're putting stuff in the same universe, there'll be another character, another reference, something. But I haven't seen Deadpool and Wolverine yet. That might be the next. Just tell me what happens.
Oh my god!
But I know. Yeah. Did it have any kind of reference to being part of a bigger universe?
Well, absolutely. I mean, there was tons of cameos from the older characters, right? Like the Fox, like not MCU, but Fox characters.
Yeah.
And yeah, he talks about the MCU, right? There's a lot of references to the MCU. You know, he breaks the fourth wall tons of times in this movie. So he acknowledges the MCU and what it's all about, and how he wants to be a part of it, which I think is his kind of way of getting in there eventually. But it's hard to even imagine where he kind of like say something like Doomsday, which is the next Marvel movie is supposed to be the next Marvel movie, or Secret Wars. I don't know where he fits in there. You know what I mean? He's their biggest moneymaker, and I get it. They got to include him. They have to. If you're going to do a big Marvel movie at this point, you have to include Deadpool. He is going to make you money. I just don't know how they do it, man. He's such a wild card. Yeah.
He's a wild card. He's breaking the fourth wall. He's quippy. How do you fit that? You might have to just fit him in small bites.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's going to be very interesting. I mean, I hope he's in it. They did the whole casting thing where they showed I think the majority of the cast for Doomsday. He was not on it, and neither was Hugh Jackman. So I don't know. Maybe they're waiting for Secret Wars, or maybe they just haven't given the whole cast away. But now all of these guys were in that cast.
They were
Yeah, which actually kind of, if you paid attention to that, like we did for like idiots and watched it for 5 hours. It took 5 hours, by the way, to do this casting thing.
To do what casting thing? What are you
to announce the cast of Doomsday? It took like 5 hours.
What?
And we watched. Yeah, they would just. They had all these chairs. You never saw this at all?
No.
They had the casting chairs with the names on the back.
Sure.
They had them all in a row in this big warehouse. But they would only show one every fucking like 12 minutes. They would move.
So was this streamed live on YouTube?
It was live. Yeah. Live on every YouTube.
Oh yeah, whatever. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
And every like 12 minutes they would move the camera over and show the next chair. And they did that for fucking 5 hours straight. And we watched it.
And you did that for 5 hours.
Anyways, spoiler, like it was kind of a spoiler for us because we thought a lot more people were going to die in Thunderbolts. But then the entire cast except Taskmaster was announced as being in
right.
Doomsday.
Yeah. Huh.
So there's kind of a little bit of a spoiler. I didn't like that they did it before this came out. They could have done it this weekend. It would have been fun.
Yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, that's it. Very, it's a little slow in places because it does have a lot to do with mental health and shit. A lot of people dealing with their old issues. Yelena's a lot of times we go back and we visit that spot where she had her little friend killed in the Black Widow project or whatever. And then the Bob shit, and then you know Walker goes back to a time. You find out in this movie that Walker's wife has left him with his kid because he's very depressed. He's not like everyone hates him, right? Because of the shit he did. He killed a person on live television,
right?
So everyone hates him, and he's very depressed over that. So his wife ends up leaving him. It goes back to a time where he was supposed to be watching the kid, and he was just on his phone checking headlines, and you know, very dark moments.
Yeah.
So very, very character-driven dark moments, and them trying to deal with all that kind of shit.
I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like that for Walker.
Yeah,
I just like him as a douche. You know what I mean?
You're right,
just
and that really humanized him. A lot.
I don't know if I like that.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of that shit. A lot of like deep fucking psychological moments with these characters. Bob is a very emotionally driven character. You know, it defines who he is when he has his superpowers. You know what I mean? Like that's a mental health superhero, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a decent aspect. Now comparing it to something like Guardians, when another movie where we kind of didn't know anybody when we were introduced to them,
right?
It's a lot less fun, but there's similarities there. Like you go in thinking, I don't know what this is going to be about. Like I know some of these characters for like 10 minutes or whatever, but then you end up fucking really liking them, and they work well together. You said it at the beginning, it's a good cast, and they're really good. They can act their asses off, man.
I also think that there is something to having this new phase be less superhero oriented. Quote, the big quote unquote superhero, and more about like all these dudes are like they're elite in their skills, right? They just have elevated mercenary skills. I think that's a good change of pace.
It is, yeah. There's no well, I mean, Sentry flies or whatever, but as for the superheroes, yeah, it's just they shoot and punch. That's all they do.
It's a little bit more grounded. It's a I think for me, who for the most part enjoys these movies, but is by no means a fanboy. And I'm not saying that like as if I'm cooler than that or not.
Right.
But it's just a nice change of pace. It's a nice change of energy. Because a lot of those superhero skills, I guess, would get them out of trouble like that, and you just go along with it, and you're just like, I fucking love Iron Man, so of course he's going to do something like that, or whatever the character is. I kind of like that this is a little bit. It seems like a little bit more down and dirty.
Very.
And I don't know. I'm just very interested to see where this goes, because I think that was the thing that kept me very interested after Avengers was, and of course Avengers 2 was, where like everything is so fucking epic. It's so big that it could be overwhelming. And of course that leads to multiple rewatches and stuff like that, but it's nice to have it just brought down to earth a little bit more.
This definitely does that.
The other thing that I was going to mention, is there anything regarding the blip? Is the blip a part of this, or do they talk about it? Is it referenced, or is that just a thing of the past now?
I think no, it's not. And I think the only other MCU movie referenced is Brave New World, where they talk about the fucking Red Hulk thing.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Because it's still kind of fresh in this timeline, right? They said something about our last president just turned into a giant Red Hulk or something like that. But other than that, yeah, I think that's the only reference they have. There's no. Yeah, I think the blip is not a. I don't know. It's not a thing anymore. I mean, it's a thing, but it's not. They're not using it as a plot device so much anymore. Right?
Yeah. Everyone got over it. The entire world got over it. It's like, look, it fucking happened. Okay, now we're gonna move on. Now there's a giant void that is like the fucking the shadow of the Independence Day UFO, right? Just coming over.
It is. It's exactly what it is. Yeah, it looks exactly like that. Except if you touch it, you fucking remember your worst moments ever.
It's the worst shadow of all time. I step in the shadow and I'm like, all right, got out of the sun a little bit. Let's cool off a little bit.
Nope.
And it's step in the shadow and just go, your worst fucking memories coming back at you. Thanks.
So, is it the movie that I wanted to kick it off? I hope so. It's better than some of the other stuff. The grounded stuff that you're talking about is something that I needed after Cap, because Cap in itself, and I think that's why he's your favorite kind of franchise within the MCU. He was grounded. He's got he's got super soldiers. He's got a super soldier serum or whatever. But those movies, other than maybe Civil War, where it's just literally a giant superhero fight, those movies are kind of like espionage and chases and fist fights and you know what I mean? Like, they're great. And that's where this kind of takes up this is more of a Captain America movie, the old Captain America movie, than Captain America ended up being.
So that was one of the things I was thinking about, where you talked about how at the end they're introduced as the new Avengers, and it's like kind of thrown upon them. So I see maybe the sequel being like they're all part of the propaganda. They're being advertised like much in the same way that Steve was. Once he was like, all right, I'll fucking just be the poster boy for the military, and I'll be a propaganda piece.
Right.
So I can kind of see that playing a part in the next one.
Right. Well, I mean, the next one's going to be Doomsday. They're all in Doomsday, like I told you. And then you're gonna have Captain America and his team in there, which we were trying to figure out who that is too, because they mentioned him getting a team together, but they don't say who. But there's gonna be the new Falcon, which is a disaster. I believe like Thor. I think I can't. There's not really any other original Avengers listed in that cast, other than like the Wakanda people. But the original Black Panther's dead. So I don't know who his team's going to be. And then you're going to have the Fantastic Four faction, right? And then you're going to have, well, this is spoiler alert if you didn't watch that casting news, but you have all the old X-Men too are also in this movie.
Yeah.
So
it's like Civil War Part 2.
Kind of, but are they going to be fighting each other, or are they going to be working together against Dr. Doom? I don't know. It's going to be very, very interesting to see. I can't wait for it. That is supposedly their next movie, which is next summer. And I think they have a spot early next year, but they haven't announced anything for it. Like Disney or whatever has a release date spot that they haven't given a name of a movie yet. I don't know if it's going to be like a big secret movie or something that they're going to release on us, but there's after this. Sorry, I keep saying it's the next movie. Fantastic Four is the next movie. Yeah. And then after that, it's Doomsday. And that's a year. They just had 3 in the first half of this year, and now we're not going to have another one for a whole year, which is going to be a little weird. So I don't know if they're going to slip something in there or not.
Yeah, July 25th, Fantastic Four, First Steps, and then May 1st, 2026, Avengers Doomsday by the Russos.
Right? And it just seems, I don't know. You'd think they'd slip something in there.
Yeah.
Actually, they might even have 2 slots. They might want to have one at the end of this year and the one at the beginning of next year. But who knows? And we speculate. Oh, maybe it's going to be a Doctor Strange movie or a new X-Men movie, or it could be anything.
So, according to Wikipedia, which we all know is the source of truth,
absolutely.
You have for the future. So they have Phase 6, Fantastic Four, First Steps, Avengers Doomsday, Spider-Man Brand New Day, Avengers Secret Wars, and then for future, and these are all TBA in terms of release dates, is Armor Wars, which sounds like the worst movie of all time. I mean, that sounds like an Asylum movie. Does it? Armor Wars.
Yeah.
Black Panther 3, Blade, Untitled, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings sequel. Like, who the fuck wants to see that?
Yeah, but we were thinking that might fit in too, because he's announced for Doomsday. He's part of the cast.
Oh, really?
Shang-Chi is going to be in Doomsday. So how do you just thrust him in a movie with 70 other superheroes and expect people to care about him?
Yeah, true.
I think you gotta revisit them before that at some point. I don't know.
And then after that, you got the Untitled X-Men film, and then finally the Untitled Deadpool / X-Men film.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
Let's see, what else did I have here on a list? So after you said this, like my mind went nuts in terms of like how, like what format the story would work. Is it just an after credit scene? Is it a TV show? Is it a one-off TV episode? Is it a one-off movie? And you said that Valentina bought the Avengers Tower.
Yeah.
So I just want to see that whole real estate transaction. Like, who did she buy it from? What was the closing like? You know? So I just have a lot of questions about that because I feel like that could be really like mundane and stupid and also very hilarious.
Yeah, I think that happened back in the first Spider-Man movie.
Oh, did it? Oh, okay.
I think there's because he's moving out at the end of the movie. They're moving all his shit. That's what Vulture's trying to steal is that plane full of shit that's coming from.
Oh, okay. So there is a movie on the real estate transaction.
Well, no, there's not. I think Happy just mentions that someone bought it.
Yeah.
And at the time, I remember us being the kids were like, I bet you it was a Fantastic Four. Like Reed Richards bought it, right? Because they needed it, but we were completely wrong with that. But yeah, it ended up being Valentina and her Black Ops missions.
The other thing that I had noted was you mentioned how there's a lot of self-referential humor, right? So like nobody calls them Thunderbolts,
right?
But Red Guardian's like, hey, when you're on a soccer team, you know, your team was Thunderbolts. I kind of hope that plays more of a role in this phase where they can be more because that does take away from, again, a lot of the seriousness of all the other phases leading up to this. Because when you went into the whole Sentry and the Void and like that seems fucking really depressing. So
yeah, it was.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a downer, and I don't think like you need to bring the audience all the way down in order to make them feel good. I think they can just feel good through little things like the self-referential humor in terms of like, oh, isn't this ridiculous? None of us have superhero powers. Like that's fucked up, you know? I just hope that plays more of a role in this phase. And that it's not just like a one-off.
Yeah.
Because I think it just lightens the load of everything.
Right. I don't know how much we're going to get to focus on the Thunderbolts and something like Doomsday.
Okay.
With so many other superheroes, you know what I mean? The Guardians did what you're talking about very well.
Yes.
And they had 3 movies to do it. Plus, they showed up for a little bit. Well, they showed up in Infinity War. They got their own scenes in Infinity War. We saw most of them in Endgame. They showed up in Thor: Love and Thunder at the beginning. They had a lot of time to flesh those characters out, right, and let us fall in love with them.
Sure.
I don't think the Thunderbolts are going to have that time. You know what I mean? Even though we know most of these characters before going into it, like you said, John Walker was a douche, and you just want him to be a douche because he's a douche, right? I don't think there's going to be enough time for these guys to get a hold of the audience like a Guardians of the Galaxy did. You know what I mean? But we'll see. I don't know. It just depends on how they handle them in Doomsday. Something that's so big with them being the new Avengers. We'll have to see.
New Avengers is hilarious to me. The fact that fucking she hoodwinked them and just to have them come out on stage is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. It was
you remember the Avengers? This is the new Avengers, you know?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
That's awesome.
All right, well,
hold on. One other thing that I wanted to ask, because you mentioned something about Guardians and the comparisons between the two. How were the needle drops in this? Were there a lot of needle drops? Any good music?
There's pretty good. Yeah, it's okay. It's nothing like.
It's not crazy.
It's my go-to playlist right now is just songs from the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I can listen to it all day, every day.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I can't even remember one song here, and that coming from me, that's not a lot. Like I'm usually not the guy that remembers like needle drops.
Yeah, sure.
But for Guardians, I did, and for this, I kind of don't. I don't really remember. I mean, it's fine. I just don't like any pop songs and shit like that, I don't really remember. There's got to be a song when they're driving in the car and shit though, and I just can't remember what it was. Yeah, so not for me, anyways.
All good, all good. Yeah. Now you mentioned how they're the new Avengers, but the next movie might not include a lot of the characters.
Well, it's going to include them. It's just there's going to be so many other huge stars in this movie.
Things to get to, yeah.
I don't know what they do with the Thunderbolts there. Like, maybe they're going to be this running joke where like they're the new Avengers and Captain America's got the Avengers, and is that going to be a whole thing in Doomsday? Do they have enough time to deal with that kind of shit when you've got this giant new supervillain coming to the galaxy? The Fantastic Four showing up with dire news about the state of their universe and what's going to happen to this universe is a running joke about the name of the new Avengers going to kind of fit into all that. I don't know. I just don't feel like we're going to have a lot of time with the new Avengers going forward, especially in a movie where you've got the Fantastic Four and the X-Men and like Dr. Doom and all this shit. And again, these guys are just your down to earth kind of fucking shoot them up, punch them up players, right? It's like it's like the problem we talked about with when they did Infinity War, and I was really pissed off that they didn't have Daredevil in it. And that was the excuse everyone used back then. Like Daredevil's just a street thug, right? Like he's just a dude that he's blind or whatever. He doesn't have superpowers. He just fights people bare knuckles in the street. Like what's he going to do in Infinity War? Well, what the fuck is the Thunderbolts going to do against Dr. Doom? Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. But they're in it.
I love picturing the climax of Infinity War. Everyone's just fucking right. Like everyone's just kicking ass, and Daredevil is just getting the shit kicked out of him because they're all around. Or maybe he does like a windmill thing where like he's just like spinning around that way, but he's just like he's getting his ass kicked. Or because he can't fucking, I don't know if you know that, he can't see anything.
He can't see anything. Or he's just walking through the battlefield like Travolta in in Pulp Fiction. He's just like, what the fuck?
He's on another continent.
He doesn't even know. Like, yeah. Doctor Strange fucking sparkle circled his ass there, and he's like, "Where the hell am I?" Oh, that would be fucking hilarious, man. Poor Daredevil.
So, give me your rating on this.
My rating is a soft 7 right now.
Okay. And is this cautious? You're being a little cautious, playing it a little safe.
I said soft. I didn't mean it. It's a 7. It's a good 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Solid 7.
Cautious? No, I think I'm very confident in that. It's fun. It's really dark. It's really heavy, but it's refreshing to get a really well written story where you end up caring about the characters more than the superpowers of the good or bad guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sentry does have superpowers, and he's pretty evil. But again, I love Florence Pugh. Like, I fucking love her. She's fucking fantastic, and she's such a great character in this. And because we get to see that, and we already got a little bit of it in Black Widow and shit. And plus, she was in the Hawkeye TV show too, right? Where she wanted to kill Hawkeye because he thought he let Natasha die. But this movie, she fucking shines, man. She's fucking fantastic in this movie. She carries the whole thing, the interaction between all these other characters, Red Guardian's crazy, fucking US agent's an asshole, Ghost this mystery, Valentina's a fucking bitch. Like she's in between all of it, and she's carrying it on her own. Like she's really fucking good. She's the one that talks Bob through it all. You know what I mean? Like she's she's fucking fantastic in this movie, dude.
That's awesome.
Oh, I absolutely love her.
That's awesome.
Now, Pete didn't join us tonight because he wants to actually see this movie, which surprised the shit out of me because he is not MCU guy by any means. Like he doesn't even care. He sat in on the Captain America just telling me and he hadn't seen that. He was just like, just tell me what happens.
Just tell us what happens.
So I don't know. I'm very interested to see whether or not he's gonna, what his recommendations are for you.
Good. Before we do that, parksense.com, you see the banner at the bottom there, a little scroll. go to parksense.com. They have candles, room sprays, wax melts that are based on your favorite things from Universal and Disney parks. And if you use the code BINGE20 at checkout, you get 20% off. And again, like and subscribe this video and also the Binge Media channel. Patreon.com/Binge Media. $5 a month is where you can support us. Thunderbolts. I don't. This is the problem with this show format.
You saw it. You've seen it now.
I saw this shit. No, it is nice to have Pete here to help us figure this out. Now, Pete.
Yes, sir.
You're here. You have not heard any of the other Thunderbolts talk.
Correct.
You caught a little bit. Can you just tell? What do you? Am I doing this? Am I not doing this?
Are you going to see this, Pete?
I'm going to go see this.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Alex, go see it.
Oh!